What's going on, everybody? Pale Horse here, and we're trying to wrap up this spider for the day. I've been working on it for a couple hours. I took a lunch break, and we're not gonna be done today on it, but I want to get a little bit further. But I made a lot of progress, so let's take a look. And we're gonna be listening to some stream beats on Spotify. I was digging this channel, and it says that I could listen to it on the stream, so we'll see what happens. So right now I'm just trying to outline some of this stuff here and see how far we can get before I have to go pick my wife up from work. Like I said, I had a stream earlier today, and I streamed for about, I think, 2.5 hours. So I'm going to try to get another hour in here before I have to run. So let's see how far we get. So we're working on the highlights. For the last couple hours on my stream earlier, I was going heavy with the blacks and the midtones. So now I want to lift up the painting. I want to go on the lighter side. So I'll give it a nice quick session of some highlights. Trying to add some texture to this highlight so it looks like it's pulling forward just a little bit. The original shape was pretty much just one tone, and I didn't really have much of a texture in there, so I'm kind of making it up as I go.
well, your vacation.
So now I'm going in and adding some more highlights to the fangs and the fur in the face. I'm just trying to get it to pop forward a little bit more. Earlier on the stream, I was really focusing on getting those darks and middle tones. But adding in these little light highlights is gonna make the picture really pop really fast. It's already starting to get some of that depth and creepiness. I like the what's it called? Can't really see in that angle, but there's got some like dark browns and some like creamy yellow brown colors in here, and it just really blends in with the little dots of white that I'm dropping in. So now that I really paid attention to a lot of the putting in the darks and working on my structure earlier on, when I'm coming in here with the whites, it's so easy to put them in, and it makes a dramatic change like almost instantly. Now the spider has like this really creepy, like hairy, just gross. Just adding these little bits of white. It's just really coming together. I'm really happy with how it's starting to turn out. Now I'm adding some dots in this light source area. I want it to blur out. I don't want it to just be like this white circle there, so I need to add some hotter areas outside of the main circle where I didn't really put a lot of paint, just so it kind of from a distance diffuses a little bit and kind of blends and blurs a little bit. And sometimes having really hot stippling acts as almost like there's an atmosphere in between, and it's like it's picking up little reflective light, light coming out, and there's some atmosphere, and every once in a while it'll just hit enough of them that'll reflect and make a little flash. So that's kind of like what I'm leaning into on that. Later on, I might bring out the airbrush and do a little bit of fog or mist on the ground. But I want to do my best to work with the brush before I get to that point, because I don't want it to be a airbrush painting. I want it to be a painting. I just want to use the airbrush as a little quick tool to get a small effect. Now I'm just adding little wisps of hair, just like the ones that would be getting caught in the light that's coming towards them, or towards them. Just thinking about where all the ambient light is coming through and touching on the rocks. That's kind of like what I'm thinking about in my brain when I'm just going through here, and it looks like I'm randomly putting down marks. I'm just trying to picture it in my brain. So we're still just going through looking for little areas for these highlights to be at. It's kind of tedious, and but when it's all done, it's gonna give the painting such a major leap forward. Okay, now I'm gonna come back in with a blue and kind of uh, pull back those highlights. So I'm gonna kind of like uh, give a slight blue black wash over it, just so I can get that pale blue color that I'm looking for. It's easier to tone it back. It's easier to go hot and then tone it back a little bit after you're done. At least it is for me. As I say in a lot of my videos, it's a lot of push and pull. So I'm mixing up a nice medium color of what I would say would be like the moonlight color, which is kind of like a like a powdery navy blue. I don't know. It's just a weird light color that looks like pale moonlight. It's like a powdery baby blue. Actually, gonna switch up my brush, go to something a little bit bigger so I can cover more area with a more wet wash, so I don't get like streaking. I don't know if you can see that, but now it's toning back a little bit of what I put in there, softening it a little bit. This rock in front is still undecided on what shape it actually wants to be. I'm still carving it as I go. Now I'm adding some brighter highlights here. Uh, uh, Basically, I'm carving in some bigger chunks of rock. Now I darkened up that blue-black color again, softening some of the highlights that I just put in and adding a little bit more of a blue color to cool it down. Gotta remember this is a night scene, so I'm just starting to darken it a little bit. I want to add some webs in here. I totally forgot to add some webs.
Springfest is happening at Lowe's.
I think that'd be cool to maybe add some webs on this stone right here. That's kind of like, I got this skull down here. Can you see that? Got the skull down here. I think it'd be cool to have some webs maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it for a little bit. Let's keep going with this shadows. I want to make sure that I'm having just the tips of the rocks be real close to white, and everything else around it. I want to kind of like make it this light powdery blue color, just so it's like the ambient moonlight coming through here. And over here, I want that ambient moonlight to fight with the light coming from the doorway here. So it's gonna come up to here, and then I'm gonna have it kind of blend out here, and over here I'll come back in with some more stronger oranges and stuff like that to really sell the red or the yellow fire far deep in this cave. I wanted to get all those white atmosphere highlights in there, so as I cover it over with the washes, that those little bright spots will still stick out. Now, now I'm gonna go back into the way background into the sky and kind of use a wash to kind of start to make some patterns around some of the brush strokes that I've already put in there previously. That'll give a nice kind of organic, sporadic background. It has kind of like an actiony, feels like there's some action or some like atmosphere. Just being real subtle on the edges and then slowly blending in as the paint starts to come off of the brush. I'm almost kind of creating a vignette of sorts. Helps guide the eye towards the main the main things of the painting. As a painter, you're almost like a guide, a tour guide of your own art. And when you know like proper layout, there's a fancy name for it, but I can't remember it right now. But paying attention to like how things look good in like a frame, you know, like they call it the golden ratio, and it's like a swirl. So I can kind of give an example of what I'm talking about. As you're looking through the painting, your eyes are guided by parts of the painting. So like when you just glance at it, you're gonna probably see the spider first, and then you're gonna look around the spider, and then just these shapes will guide your eye through the painting. I want everybody to have almost like a spiral look through the painting. That's just one way of doing it. There's other things like triangles and inverted triangles and stuff like that, like where they play off each other, if you can see what I mean. But you can really get crazy with that. But once you just get a hang of how things look good, like framed wise, or you know, like when you're taking pictures of people and stuff like that, and you lay them out nice inside the frame, and you take the picture, then you kind of just like, it comes like second nature, like knowing how things are supposed to look when you lay them out. Comes with time. I'm not the best at that myself. I would like to learn some more cool techniques and to get more interesting effects and better poses and stuff like that. This painting was like kind of like an experiment for other things I want to do. I've been wanting to do a really large fantasy painting. I got this really large canvas that I bought about a year ago, and I've been thinking about it for a while. And this painting is kind of like what I was thinking about when I wanted to do the big painting. So it's kind of like a test to see like the what I need to be thinking about when I go to do the big painting next time. I'm probably not gonna put a spider in it, but I kind of wanted to have it like an 80s movie poster with a lot going on and really cool action scenes, you know. But who knows? I'll probably end up changing that idea anyways by the time I get to the actually doing it. But I know I wanted to make a fantasy painting.
You've always wondered, how did this?
I need to darken up this hair a little bit. I wanted to have the like essence of like a blonde hair, but that's going to not work because the light source is in front of him. So I need to drop it back a little bit so it doesn't look like his hair is lit up as much. I want it to be catching some light, but I don't want it to be emitting light. So we're going to go back in with a little bit of black and a little bit of blue. And we're going to kind of like play around with laying it on some of these strands here. We'll come back in with like a highlight color that's like in the medium area of the highlight, because I got this hot area right here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of white to what I got, just so it's lighter but not as hot as that main highlight in the front. That's going to give me a good opportunity to pull it down a little bit more into some of my already painted areas. Give some more shape and depth to this hair a little bit more. Now I'm kind of adding some highlights, some bright white highlights with a little bit of tint of that blue to make him stand out from this background, since he's already kind of dark and the background is really dark too. So I need something to help your eye identify the figure. So I'm kind of giving him what's called a rim light and putting some cool specks in his hair. Now I'm going to try to get a little bit of texture in the ground here. Now I'm gonna try my hand at making some webs. I don't know. Not really sure. I've never made webs before, so I'm just gonna give it a shot at something. Yeah, I think that looks cool. I didn't want this to be a super high realistic painting. Kind of want to leave it with kind of like a painterly style where it's realistic but kind of real soft.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each when you get 2 or more lines. you could save hundreds on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Click to try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com for details.
So I'm just adding some final highlights. I'm gonna call it a night in a couple minutes. I gotta run pretty soon, so I'm just trying to finish it up. Get the progress photo and put it up on my Facebook and Instagram. Really glad I got back into streaming this last month. I've been busy doing a bunch of other jobs, trying to get caught up on projects. I wasn't really able to put aside the time to do streaming at that moment. But I'm glad I finished up some of those projects so I could get back into this. And now I got this awesome painting that I'm working on, so super happy about it. So we're going to do one last pass in the sky just to darken it up a bit more to help draw the attention to the spidery guy. So now I'm pulling that blue down farther into that white area just to tone it down a little bit. What's going on? Thanks for the follow. How you doing? Thanks for the kind words.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
I've been waiting all day to put that sound effect on. I just made it today. It's special for you. Thank you. This canvas is a 8x10. It's a wood cradle, wood board. So it's wrapped in wood, and it's an MDF canvas panel that's been gessoed. It's a special kind of board. I can't remember exactly one. I think it's called the Enthusiast board or something like that from Dick Blick. I like the tooth, the texture that it has on it. It really grabs the paint really nicely, and I'm using golden fluid acrylic, so it has a really nice flat look to it. I'm going through the sky right now. I'm trying to create kind of like a vignette a little bit with some darker blues and black, and just trying to shrink down the focus. I want everybody to be looking over here, so I'm just darkening this, and that's going to help guide your eye through the painting later on. And I'm doing kind of like a stippling almost with a fat round brush to help with some of like a texture in the sky, to kind of like create like an atmosphere. It's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. I still want to pull it down a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit more black to this blue. Don't want to go too crazy. I don't want it to be straight black, because it'll be too hard to come back from that. So I'll just use a little bit more blue. See where we're at here. Now we're gonna try and be even more sparingly around the edges. We're gonna get it a little heavy around the edges, and then kind of clean off our brush a little bit more on something else, just to get a little bit more dry. Maybe even add a little bit of water to dilute the paint a little bit more, because we want to start to blend it into what we got already. So I'm just bouncing around as stuff starts to dry. I go back into it and kind of move it around a little bit more. That helps with getting some texture, some tide marks. And as it dries, it'll pick up more pigment from the next go through, and then that'll make those organic tide marks stick out more. and you can use that as kind of like texture and atmosphere. So this upper left-hand corner is probably taken enough. It's oversaturated now. So if I go back in there, it's just gonna start wiping paint off. So I gotta let that area fully dry. So I gotta hold off in there until probably next time. But yeah, that's looking good. I'm gonna smooth this blend out a little bit more. It's not dark enough.
It's time to start your own business.
It's looking good. I want to go back into this corner just a little bit, just to kind of repair that little area that I wiped off some of the paint. Okay, I'm just not going to mess with it too much more. All right, that looks good. I'll go more into it next time when it's had a chance to fully dry. So just, I'm going to go just a little bit more through the edges here. And then we're going to wrap it up for the night. All right, I think that looks pretty good for tonight. It's been, let's say, probably about 7 hours of work, maybe? No, couldn't be that much. I think I'm at like maybe 5 hours. 5 hours, I think. I still got some more to go on this, and so next time I'm streaming, I'm gonna be working on this guy. But hope everybody enjoyed checking out the painting today. I worked a couple hours earlier on, and another about an hour right now. So it was a good stretch. I'm tired, but I'm really happy that we got some good progress on this. I'm going to be taking a photo and putting it up on my Instagram. And looking forward to doing a round 3 on this next stream. So I'm glad everybody decided to stop by and say what's up. And I got to go pick my wife up, so I'm going to wrap it up now. And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can look for me there under Art by Pale Horse. And I'll see you guys later on. Good night.